Okay, it's Tuesday, November 15. We'll bring the meeting to order. And tonight we have a few public hearings. We do have a quorum. We are required to have at least 3 here physically. And so we did it. We mustered 3. So the first public hearing is that on 79 South Greeley Avenue, the Bank of America. It's my understanding that their materials were not here and the applicant has wished to adjourn that public hearing until December 6th. So is there a motion to reschedule the public hearing or to continue it until December 6th?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. The next one is the Goodsite application, and again, materials were not in here in time, I guess. So again, this will be adjourned until December 6th, or proposed to be adjourned until December 6th. So is there a motion to did we actually open the public hearing?
We have to open that.
So that is, we need to open the public hearing because it has been scheduled and noticed. So we need a motion to open the public hearing for the Goodsite application.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then I guess we need a proposal to adjourn the meeting now till December 6th.
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
So our third application, this is a public, well, it's first of all, just a, I guess we're gonna start off with a public hearing. So again, we need a motion to open the public hearing for the Millwood Market 201-205 Sawmill River Road. This is an application for a site development plan and wetlands permit to repair the driveway islands and replace the trench drains. And it's my understanding that the reason we see this is not because so much of the wetlands, but because of the an old resolution going back to 1984 that reserved planning board jurisdiction over certain elements of the application. And this was one that was triggered.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
Technical?
Sabrina, you're not hearing us?
We're talking. You hear us? See, look, my mouth is moving.
Can you hear us, Bob?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Drew, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
She'll try to get back on.
Come back on, yeah, okay. Is she coming back on?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I see her, she's coming back. No?
She's having technical difficulties.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, perhaps the applicant can
We have
represent
to
the applicant.
open, we have to open, we still haven't opened.
We haven't opened the public hearing?
No.
Oh, we haven't done that?
No.
Oh, is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
He's doing all the heavy lifting tonight. Second. All in favor? Okay, With the-
Good evening, I'm Callisto Burton, I'm an engineer licensed in the state of New York, and I'm here on behalf of Millwood Market. As you said in your introduction, this is really a very simple maintenance project. For some reason, the trench drains that are across the entrance driveways have deteriorated and need to be repaired. They did some emergency repairs, so we did other work, we had to do some work on the canopy footings. But these trench drains do have to be replaced. And in conjunction with that, there were traffic islands and driveways to direct traffic, which driveways have left turns, which driveways have right turns. But the way the driveways were constructed or actually designed, they were regular curves, they were mountable islands, and they got beat up by the trucks and the cars, and so they eventually deteriorated. So the second part of this application is to replace the driveway islands with mountable curves. And that would be, that part of the application is clearly in the DOT jurisdiction. And so we did work with the DOT, and we are at the point where once my client submits the check, we'll have a permit, so I've been told. But we did a little something different where the prior islands were just raised islands. We have now designed these islands so they're ADA compliant. In other words, they're wheelchair safe right across the driveway. Okay, so that's really all the work we're doing. We're not cutting in, we're not creating any new additional impervious coverage. We're not disturbing any soil. It's all the work is on the driveway. And the wetlands are right across the highway from us, so we are within the 100-foot buffer of the wetlands. And we got the wetlands line from the original site plans, and the wetlands line may have moved a little bit, but you know, we're in the wetlands, so we'll just take it at that, and that's why we also applied for a wetlands permit.
Okay, thank you.
Is it,
Bob? No, I'm sorry.
is it, you're in the wetland or the wetland setback?
Wetland setback.
Thank you.
Like I said, I think it's impossible, but wetland setback.
Bob, you had some comments?
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Basically, I just had two comments. One being that since they're doing work within the New York State right away for the islands and the concrete work, it's always standard practice to get a third-party permit from the New York State DOT prior to the construction or commencement of construction. And secondly, once the proposed concrete curb is done, we always get a written sign-off from the New York State DOT indicating to the town that they have no objection to the issuance of a certificate of compliance for this particular case. These items were done and incorporated into the memo. I have no objection to them being in the memo. I believe they are in the memo as we will review after this proceeding. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Dennis, you had some comments?
Sure. Yes, I just wanted to, vet both, areas of jurisdiction, so yes, they are within the 100-foot, adjacent area of the DEP map wetland, but, DEP does have, provisions whereby they include the language in the memo where, basically existing, maintenance on, currently serviceable structures, no new development, permit from DEC would not be required, for those activities in the adjacent area. Our code doesn't quite have that same provision, so speaking with the representatives, what markets we couldn't ascertain, whether these items were or were not here prior to 1990, when the code was adopted. We require this administratively, you would obviously file the wetlands.
Enter your meeting ID, followed by pound.
So, but, also consistent, with our code, and as stated by the applicant, all the work to occur within, previously disturbed, existing hardscape surfaces. So consistent with chapter 137, mitigation, really, the board decides that that is not required here because there are no impacts to adjacent area. Those impacts have occurred historically, that ship has sailed. So those are the end of my comments.
Okay, very good, thank you. Questions from board members?
I have none.
No? If not, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We have a resolution, a draft resolution in front of us, and I know that we had one change that came in this afternoon, just adding a paragraph about the old resolution back in 1984, giving us the reason for even looking at this again. So, anyone have any questions or changes on the resolution?
No.
Obviously, we'll have to change the who's present, all that kind of thing, those things. So if not, is there a motion to adopt the resolution as drawn?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Good, one and done and set.
All right, thank you very much. I just one thing, I have here before the council, I'm in New Jersey, but it was 30 years ago. I don't remember the application, but thank you very much.
Yep.
Enjoy the work.
Okay, we have some minutes. Past meetings, we have the minutes of September 28th. I had a number of little things I'll just pass off to you, but does anyone have any substantive changes, questions on the minutes of September 28th?
I don't. Nope.
Okay. If not, is there a motion to adopt the minutes of September 28th?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we have the minutes of October 18. Again, any substantive issues, questions, other than minor wordsmithing?
Nope.
Okay. So is there a motion to adopt the minutes of October 18th?
Moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
So we're all set there, and then the next item, this is Alicia. Before I forget. Okay, we had a discussion item listed now. This is opportunities for public property in the Chappaqua Hamlet, a continued discussion with an eye toward getting to a position where we supply the town board with some thoughts and perhaps some strategies. So I know Dick, you sent a note off to Tom. Did we just get something from LDAD just now? Is
We
that
did.
yeah? Okay.
Those would like questions. You will press star one.
That's not me.
No, that's Sabrina trying to get in, I think.
Oh, okay. So anyway, Dick, you wanna run through some of your thoughts and the questions that you had?
Well, I think it's Tom's thoughts and my thoughts. And we I think we agree that public land should be used for public options and operations if at all possible. I think that Tom laid out a nice group of factors that would help that out. And I suggested that our excellent education system and our high quality drinking water townwide could be added to that list. And if the public doesn't, the public approach doesn't work, then I was trying to think of, well, what's a plan B? Slight military history from my, the past. You don't just go in with one plan, you go in with a plan to get in and a plan to get out and do something else. So, I took part of what Tom had said in his about educational things, I think, and he added it in our back and forth. I think a reasonable portion of the public land could be used, or not should be, but could be, if the first plan doesn't work. There would be operations that really benefit humanity. It's not like it's gonna be, a Ferris wheel or something. It would be something that would be useful. I mean, we already have medical folks working on Chappaqua Crossing. We could, I don't know what happened there, but that's maybe part of a starting point. And that the activities that I'm throwing out there for benefiting humanity are medicinal and or ecological researching, which really could help. Think of all the things were done with COVID. And you know, some of the things that we were told were true. And we saved a lot of lives in a lot of places. Not we personally, but the country. You know, so I think that if we could lure someone there with all of the good things and excellent things that we have going on in the town, you know, then that would get us to a point where we would have operations, which would have employees, and the employees would give us a sense of, do we need more housing and what kind, and that could be worked in too, I think. So that's the main thing. And then I had some comments about all the goals that were in the older plan, which is now somewhat out of date. The minor things were, you know, it's almost like a typo. School buses are for the school, other buses are named. We could do that. And goal 27, there's a parking. We need to have some parking, I think, that's close by if we're gonna do certain things. Now, I assume Tertia Brook is in the hamlet, but I'm not sure, I didn't look it up.
Yes.
But it's every now and then it's a big flow, but it's much more reliable to use the water we have from Newcastle's really state-of-the-art kind of treatment of the water that we get. Now, some people may say, well, my pipes are old and I don't have good water. Well, you have to get new pipes type of thing, because old pipes tend to block up things and everything else, but that's a detail. And you know, but certainly anything we have, you know, that's natural flowing water, you know, should be protected. In other words, people should check the water every now and then, the quality of the water. It's you know, I'm not sure what the quality of the water is in Tertia Brook, but I think you could make it better, and that would be good, because that would foster more sensible, or available, I should say, you know, critters and other things that could use it as travel ways, and there's a lot of things that could be done with it. And I have to say that the last one, well, that's goal 38. I didn't understand, you know, what that was about. It seemed to be about housing, you know, but I didn't pull out the thing and the old thing and see exactly what was around the you know, goal 34 in the text. So that one, happy to discuss. I'm happy to discuss any of them. And then the last one, God bless her, but my wife says the aesthetic quality in you know, in the hamlet is really markedly better. And you know, I think that's something we can build on. And the flowers are wonderful. You know, there's coats of paint on things. The only thing in downtown thing that really rattles my cage is we agreed to have you know, solar energy on top of one building, and it doesn't look nice. It really doesn't look nice. So that's something to think about going forward, as to how do you get solar energy. And
So, if I understand it, these would be, it's like a plan B, so in case we are all wet and going in the direction of purely a public operation and initiative, if folks come back and say, no, we'd like to see something else, we'd like to see a blend, we'd like to see some commercial in there as well, or institutional, whatever it might be, so that might be something that the town board might want to at least be aware of and think about. I like the idea of the Tertia Brook, because as you know, what Yonkers did with the sawmill down there and opening it up and really making it something that's more than just, well, it's just piped over. And this could be more than just a seasonal ditch, you know.
well, seasonal ditches, I don't think we have many seasonal ditches in the hamlet.
No.
It's either built over already, or like Tertia Brook, you know, it runs down.
Yep.
And it's, you know, people, I I don't see people taking big garbage pails and
No.
things, but then again, you can't ride that road unless you live on it kind of thing. But it's certainly it's to try and get a sense of what could the people that we're going to bring all of the thinking as to what we're trying to accomplish, not with an endpoint, but what we're trying to accomplish, make good use of the land we have. Others, can say, oh, well, my thinking is that we should have, rockets fired from there or something perhaps less silly. But it's up to the people to a certain extent to help us here, because this is not an easy one. Not an easy one. You can write anything you want on this, but it's always gonna be, well, this and that. And until we get farther down the road with it, but to your point, if there is a plan B or maybe a half a plan A and a half a plan B, that might make people think more about what could be done.
Yeah, I thought your thoughts that you sent me were really fresh. I mean, a fresh way to look at it. I thought that was really terrific. As you said, it's a different kind of a thing entirely, not that it's the wrong kind of thing, it's a different kind of initiative that the town would be taking on, because then you're in search of, tenants, and you're having to make the pitch to them, this is why you ought to come here, and there are actually people involved in real estate and entrepreneurial investments who really know that marketplace, right, and can help you sort of understand where that opportunity might be in the category of things that, broadly speaking, benefit humanity, right, which is all terrific stuff. And I think that would be a very interesting, road to go down. It might help, it would be, I think, a good use of the property. It would also help create another kind of, not another kind of an identity, but a broadened kind of identity for Chappaqua, right? Which is, Pleasantville has Jacob Burns. Some of these towns have, their special sort of, this is what we do. And right now, Chappaqua doesn't have anything sort of that identifies us.
Yeah.
So I think that those are very interesting thoughts. On Tertia Brook, Tertia Brook serves a flood control function about this, because I was curious about that. And I thought that among the objectives of, or goals, if you will, of the comprehensive plan was responsible ecological development, being sure that we're being, responsible about the environment. And Tertia Brook right now, I've been down there and I went down there earlier in the summer just to poke around, to take a look, and sure enough, I walked the edge of the stream, and it's really, there was a muskrat, right in the middle of the stream. And he looked at me and I looked at him, and he had no concern about me, he just went on doing what he was doing. And so there is some wildlife down there. And part of the history of the town, as I understand it, and Bob knows a lot about this, is that Horace Greeley, when he came here, there were a lot of his acreage was down in the plains here, and it flooded all the time. And he spent, I think the number was $150,000 back then, that's real money, to try and solve the problem, and he never was flooded down here in the worst cases.
Yeah, that's
So
something that's gotta be woven into this.
one thought I had was, if this is partially like a public park, if there were partially, maybe entirely, I don't know, but public facilities, public open space, somebody says, well, we ought to have a skating rink, maybe that's one thing they wanna do. Well, is there a flood control function, which would be some sort of a retention structure that could expand on the pond, expand on Tertia Brook, create a water space, right, which would be part of a feature for a public park down there that could have Four Season use to it, and still be an improvement in the flood control system. So, I mean, you could go down there, you could, I happen to be familiar with Providence, Rhode Island, project I worked on a long time ago, where they wanted to build a new train station. And as part of building a new train station, they needed to move the river. And in order to move the river, the engineers wanted to just put it in culverts and, you know, get it out of the way. And we worked with landscape architects and with the mayor and so on and so forth. And we said, no, let's make a linear public park out of it. And now it's
Yep.
like a feature. I mean, people, they have this, I think they call it the fire parade or something, where, you know, they send boats down the river and at night, you know, little sort of toy boats with
Yep.
with candles on it, and it's a wonderful, wonderful water kind of park. That's clearly a different scale than Tertia
Right,
Brook,
yes,
but
yeah.
still, you know, that's the kind of thing that could happen down there.
Well, it's not unlike the pond up there at Leonard Park in Mount Kisco.
I don't know about that.
And that's, you know, that was an old flooded area, but they made a pond up there many years ago, and that's used for skating when if we get, you know, cold weather. And I think they have fishing contests and whatnot for kids at various times. So again, it's a public feature that's woven into that park. And the other issue, I think, Dick, is some of these concepts could lead to some sort of partnerships, which in the reality of things could help with the financing of getting whatever we need done. So if you get that investment from partners, it may make things work in terms of, well, we need money for whatever structure we wanna put up, or doing something with the parking, whatever we might wanna do. If you're working with someone who's also going to be perhaps doing something with the offices and medical, you might get some help. Because I think ultimately, I think we all know that that's gonna be a significant constraint, obstacle, and it's gonna have to be overcome for any kind of project down there.
Yeah, another thought comes to me that, while most of the runoff probably is from roads, but the older houses, a lot of them don't have systems where they take the rooftop water and put it underground temporarily. And so, you know, over the course of time, maybe that's something that also fits into, you know,
Yeah.
Tertia Brook and what could be done.
Yep.
For instance, and you know, of course, the whole parking area, most of it was probably a swamp. I don't really have an 1875, you know, map that says that, but I wouldn't be surprised that it's just more than the pocket near this building.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, it's, you know, the main church in Venice sits on 1,000,000 piles. And it's 250, 350, 450 years, I don't know, but it's an old church. And of course, there was a different outcome there. The water there is filthy and it's full of organisms that kill the borers into the piles. So if you take the borers out and make it really nice and wholesome for swimming or whatever, something else, then the church,
The whole city.
the whole city, yeah.
So I tried to I tried to contact Lisa, but she's away, just to see where the town board was on this, and I was trying to see if we have a discussion, see where we are. I saw her briefly at the dinner and told her that we would like to look at a joint meeting sometime in December. So she thought that was a good idea, but she's away right now, so I was unable to really tie anything down, and I wanted to get some sort of idea where the town board, as it's constantly being reconfigured, where they might be on this project. You know, or do we still have traction on it? Are we losing traction, or you know, where are we? So I don't know. I can't really report on it because we've been incommunicado here, missing each other. So I don't know what more to say at this point. I guess Eldad has finally sent some notes in to us that we can take a look at for next time around, and see what his thoughts. But any other thoughts that you have this evening that you want to talk about?
No, I think we've opened up a door between what Tom has done
Yep.
and you and maybe we've got something we can drive around here. Show people, look at that. I want one of those.
I know this is, I believe this is off topic, but I just can't let it sit out there, the subject of solar panels on roofs. There is a basic principle in architecture that the roof is the fifth elevation of the building. The fourth elevation of the roof is a prominent feature of any architecture, if it's, especially if it's sloping roofs, flat roofs, not an issue, but unfortunately, there is no, that I'm aware of, there are no set established yet criteria, architectural criteria of how you solve this essentially technical engineering problem, which is how to take these this infrastructure and put it on a building in a way that actually you can't expect it to add to the quality of the design, but not to detract so horribly.
So hard.
My wife would be with you on that one, she doesn't like that either.
And you see it, you may see it on, if there's if on a sloping roof in a house, there's like a vent that comes, like a plumbing vent that comes out. The panels are like staggered around that vent, and you get this I think this horrid distraction of, well, let's just throw them up there any way that we can get
Yep.
them up there.
And as many as we can get.
Yeah,
It does not, yes, as many, and it does not contribute to the curb appeal of the building
That's right.
or the neighborhood.
That's right, and my sense is, when I saw it the first time, I said, when are they gonna finish that? It's not finished.
Yeah, and this is something which is obviously beyond the purview of the planning board, but you brought it up,
Yeah.
so.
It is
But
not our purview.
I do wonder if maybe it is something that, the Architectural Review Board might be looking at. The
That would
town might be trying to work up some architectural standards of how this might be done and see if there's actually a legal way to apply it. At least make some inroads and try and figure out, what's a better way to do this, because it really is the potential to really detract from I think the quality of our neighborhoods.
Yes.
I mean, I'm all for it, I've got them, but I tried to do it handsomely. So,
All right.
Good.
Anyway.
Anything else?
that's a huge digression.
That's
But
okay.
it's his
It's
fault.
interesting. Well, he did all the heavy lifting, all those motions that you were doing tonight, so we gave you free rein. Next time around, we have a draft of next year's schedule, so nothing surprising in there, so we'll get that out next time around for adoption. And I think that's really about it.
When's the next meeting?
Next meeting is December
December
6th.
The sixth. Okay,
All right, is there a motion then to close the meeting?
so move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, done.
So Dick.